So let's watch an example of just turning to more of your lead playing. Now that we've gone over some of the technique, a couple things that that come to mind when I think about your playing is the timing that you do, the surprising timing that you do, the way that you mess with timing, and then just the phrases that you use. Because when I listen to you play, you're not playing according to the chord progression as much as you're speaking with your guitar. And if that takes a little longer, than what it might seem, then it does. Sometimes it gets done a little quicker. I want to look at a couple of examples of that. Let's listen to this Gold Rush solo. It comes in halfway through the A part, and you can listen to some of this phrasing now too. Very cool. All right. Where was that jam video taken?
That was at Bean Blossom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool. Of course, got Jake Workman there on guitar, buddy of ours. What stood out to you, and as you listen back to that and think about that? I know that, for me, it's you are messing with that melody, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, but you're also speaking in phrases.
Yeah. So, and what we mean by that is, I'll have an idea, say we do the first part of the Gold Rush. That rhythm there is kind of the standard flat picking thing. So a lot of times I'll get away from that. It's like I've already stated that idea, so that would be one phrase. I might come in and go. So I'm going to let that breathe a little bit. I'm going to do the exact opposite of what I kind of set up on the first idea.
Almost the inverse. So you're going to create, because those eighth notes don't leave any room. Yeah. Eighth notes just happen. So what you're going to come back in is and do is kind of take an eraser, erase a lot of those eighth notes, maybe push some together in a chord or an arpeggio format.
Right.
And then let things breathe.
What happens with me, in order to do that, I have to start thinking with my right hand.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So if I've got this going on, now if I want to do something opposite, I've got to, do a different rhythm. So I might go, or I might do 3 downstrokes. My left hand is just following.
Okay,
the downstroke.
You're the only person that I've heard say that. I don't think you're the only person, but you're the only person I've heard say that. And as I think about my playing, Kenny, I think that it's not that way. I think that it's probably my left hand that's trying to call the shots, because I'm concerned about that melody. I'm concerned about licks that I know.
Right.
But you're talking about the inverse, your right hand. Let's play through Gold Rush, and maybe the first time through the A part, play the eighth notes like you're talking about, and then that second A part, show us some of that space that you're talking about. The same way in the B part.
All right. 1, 2, 3. What's driving that is I've already stated that idea, this right here. So I'm definitely getting out of that, the down up, picking, and I'm spacing those notes out.
Yep. Well, let's talk more about this misdirection and timing stuff. I want to look at some tabs here. And let's watch the video first for this particular lick. This is you and Cody Kilby, the reigning IBMA Guitar Player of the Year. Woo! And you and Cody were over at the house teaching some of my students on the back porch. And y'all play Billy in the Low Ground. And you've got some really cool licks in there. This is not only a timing thing that you're doing, but this is also note selection and misdirection. I want to talk about what you're doing here. Let's check it out. So who plays a B flat chord in Billy in the Low Ground? This guy does.
So I'm on that particular thing right there. I'm playing a flat 7 of that root. So
yeah,
if we do the.
You're talking about this B flat that's right there.
Yeah.
Because we're in C, and there's a C note. So you're playing a B flat, almost bar chord there. Yeah.
Yeah.
B flat minor. Very cool. And I also want people just to see here how much space there is, because we have a tendency to play a lot of eighth notes. There's a rest right there. There's a rest right there. There's a rest right there. Here, folks, there's only 4 notes in that entire measure, and one of them's a hammer-on. There's really only 3 notes in that measure. Less is more many times. I want to look at this next tab first, and then we'll play the example. This is a really cool move that you did later on in the same performance, where you're going to lead our ear from this A note down here on the bass string down to a flat, and then you're taking us down to what we want to hear is a G down there. You don't actually give it to us, you go up top, but I love how you take us on a little ride, and I would love to actually play that for you. Here we go. Very cool. I want to listen to that one more time. Daniel, listen to that. Y'all heard that. What are you thinking when you're doing stuff like? Well, what do you think? What I mean is, like, I know you're wanting to be different, and you're wanting to, cause people to notice what you're playing and be moved by it. That's good. But are a lot of these things kind of happening on a whim? I know that you've probably played that lick before.
I have, and it's the like we talked a little bit about it today. It's over the past probably 10 years, maybe 10 or 15 years, I kind of switched from playing the chord or chord progression to where now I really try to play a movement, which is kind of stems from a guy that I listen to a lot that's written a couple of books, Barry Harris. Mm-hmm. He's a jazz educator, but that's what thing he kind of says that over and over, that the bebop guys, they played movements, they didn't play chord progression. So once I heard that and then started, that's where that lick's coming from, because I'm trying to move you into the.
Oh, it's so jazzy.
Yeah. So, and that comes from really that Barry Harris saying that, and then trying to apply that to bluegrass.
Yeah.